Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. My name is Hannah and I'm an author from the south of England. Today, for the first time in what feels like a good few months, I'm going to be doing a Booktube tag. I saw this over on What Victoria Read's channel. I really love her YouTube channel, and also on Instagram too. I'll put all of her links in the description below, as well as the original channel that this tag is from. This is called the Info Book Dump tag. Is it? No. It's called the Info Dump Book Tag. Info Dump Book Tag. Not really a tongue twister, I'm just struggling with it. Before we get started on today's video, I just wanted to remind everyone about my newsletter. I'm really trying to amp up what I'm doing via email. So my newsletters at the minute are around once a month, if not slightly less, because I am not the kind of person that enjoys getting a load of emails. So I try to make them as much as I think I would like to receive them. So they're kind of between every 4 weeks to every 5 or 6 weeks. The next one will be out in a couple of weeks' time, and that will have a few updates in it about One Road In, which I'm very excited to share. I also have some updates about what my friends are up to, and links to their books as well, because I just really want to share the love. So if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, please do. The link is in the description below. So let's get back to it. The Info Dump Book Tag. Yes, there are 12 questions in this tag, and it's quite a fun one to respond to actually. I haven't seen one that is like this before, so it's a little bit different. Yeah, let's crack on. So the first question, how many books on average do you read per month? I feel like my answer is going to be the same as everyone else's answer that I've seen to this tag. It wildly depends on what month it is, how I'm feeling, what the weather's like, are there any holidays in that month, you know? But on average I do read around a book a week, which is not a huge amount, but I'm also writing every day, so, you know, I feel like it's balance, isn't it? So some months, like January, I read 7 or 8 books, and one of them was Battle Royale, which is like a chonker, that's pretty big. But because I was reading so much, though I was thoroughly enjoying what I was reading and I was like racing to the next novel, I wasn't writing as much. So for me it's about trying to find that balance, and I think it's around 1 book a week for me. The second question is, how many books are currently on your TBR? I don't even want to admit this is embarrassing. For someone that only reads 4 books a month, I should not have this many books on a TBR, and I already know of another one that I want to buy, and my friends are releasing books this year, so absolutely I'm going to buy those and they will jump straight up the list. But I think as it stands I have probably around 45 unread novels, not including what is on my Kindle, and I have a few as well that I'm art reading, so I'm sorry. Around 50 I'd say. Question 3 is, how are your books organised on your shelves? Quick answer to this one, they are not. I used to alphabetise them, so when me and Dan moved into this flat like 5 years ago, we had one bookshelf between us. One lonely bookshelf. And it was always in alphabetical order, and I was very proud of how alphabetised it was. And then we got another bookshelf, and then another one, and then another one, and then a book trolley, and then another shelf, and now they're in no particular order at all. I think the only shelf that has any organisation is the manga shelf, and that's because it's Dan's. Number 4, which genres do you read most from? Anyone that's seen videos on my channel before already knows the answer to this one. I read horror, thriller, a little bit of sci-fi, some contemporary fiction, and very recently kind of dabbling into fantasy. I'm getting there. I think the problem with fantasy for me is I've always read the wrong fantasy, so I've always said that I don't like it when that's just not true. I've just read bad fantasy, so kind of a mixture. One thing that I hardly ever touch are biographies or autobiographies. I don't know why. I'm a fan of a biopic film, but biographies I just find, even if they're the most interesting person, I find them boring. I've only ever read 2 biographies that I've enjoyed. That's Simon Pegg's biography, because I'm unhealthily obsessed with him. That's an autobiography actually. And Anthony Kiedis's autobiography, which is also very interesting and potentially partially fictional. Number 5, which genres do you own most of? Probably horror. Probably horror, and it's probably thanks to the Abominable Book Club. Though I do own a lot of thrillers, and we seem to collect thrillers from other people because they'll read them and then give them to us, because Dan reads a thriller too. Number 6, which is your preferred form of reading, physical, audio or ebook? I read a mixture. I listen to audiobooks when I am cleaning, cooking, you know, housework stuff. Currently listening to Mythos by Stephen Fry. Anything Stephen Fry reads I will listen to. It could be absolute garbage and I'd still listen to it. Ebooks I go through phases with, so sometimes I'll read loads on my Kindle and won't pick up a book. But recently, I think my job is like 100% on a laptop, and then we watch TV, and then everything else is on a screen. I just get a little bit like screen fatigue, so I'm not in the Kindle phase right now. So I think overall, paperback. Number 7, who is your most owned author? Interesting question. I'm gonna be really facetious. Does this question mean what author do I own most of books by, like most number of books, or percentage of books? Because someone like Kate Hamer or CJ Tudor, I own 100% of everything they've written, so technically them. However, I own a lot of Margaret Atwood stuff, but not everything, but I own physically more books than Kate Hamer, you see? I'm just being really picky. So I think it's probably between Stephen King, Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett or Margaret Atwood. Question number 8, describe your favourite writing style. This is a really hard one to answer because I think it really wildly depends on what I'm in the mood to read. And I think a lot of things that I read are actually really quite drastically different in writing styles. So one of my favourite authors is Max Porter. He is incredibly floral, very, very poetic, really kind of ethereal and sometimes a bit nonsensical. But then I also really enjoy, I'm going to say it, I enjoy Dan Brown. Who cares? I enjoy Dan Brown. Straight to the point, not really fluffy, really bad at metaphors. So it really does depend on what I'm in the mood for and whether or not the style fits the actual novel. Number 9, which literary devices do you like or dislike? It's been a while since I've spoken about tropes and things, but I think if I'm talking about horrors, I love claustrophobic settings. I love characters being trapped in like really horrible situations. In terms of something I dislike, I am not a massive fan of the chosen one kind of trope, that kind of thing. And I've spoken about this before as well in rambling and ranting about tropes I really dislike in thrillers. But I really dislike the concept that a male lead character can only be motivated by the death of his wife. I mean, that's really like just crap. And just, yeah, I don't mind it like wrapped up in motivations for other stuff. But I just, yeah, it's not my favourite. Number 10, which character archetypes do you enjoy? Interesting question. I'm trying to think of some characters that I've really, really liked from novels I've read recently. And actually, I think I've got it, yeah, behind me at the minute. So, Faye is the main character in The Crowfolk by Mark Stay, which is quite new and you should check it out if you haven't already. And she is very fiercely independent, but also incredibly caring. And very sarcastic. She's like the most British of British characters I've read in a very long time, and I thoroughly enjoy a bit of a witty character, a bit of sarcasm. I love a bit of sarcasm because I'm English. Another one I enjoy when it's done right, but I really dislike when it's done wrong, is a really neurotic main character. Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I think we went through a phase of neurotic characters a couple of years ago, like with Girl on a Train, and that kind of era of thriller. And I think it can either really work really well or it's really bad. But generally I really enjoy it. 11, which are your favourite book settings? I've never really thought about my favourite book settings before. In very broad terms, I would say I am a bigger fan of novels that are set in a place that's entirely fictional, or just somewhere very different to what I'm used to. I'm not a huge fan of reading stuff that's like set in my local town, or I don't mind it when it's set in London, I guess, because I don't know that much about it. But I often find that a fictional novel that is set, for instance, in where I live, if they make the tiniest error, it just pulls me out of the story. So I would much rather a genre, or a novel, sorry, that is set in somewhere entirely fictional. Which is interesting because I know from having done my own research, a lot of people really, really like and really gravitate towards novels that are set in like their hometown or a town that they lived in for a while. People tend to really like that because they feel like they can connect with it more, but I honestly feel the opposite. Number 12, which are your favourite romantic plot tropes? Oh dear, I don't really read romance. I am about to start reading Chris Kenny's romance. I'll leave the link down for that in the description below. When I've read that, that will literally be the second romance novel I have ever read in my entire life. I don't particularly gravitate towards romance. I don't mind a rom-com, I guess. So I guess maybe God, I honestly don't think I can answer that question. I can answer some I don't like. I don't like love triangles. I don't like cheating. I don't like that scene in every like YA romance from like when I was the age to read it or watch it, where the girl goes from an ugly duckling and then walks into a wardrobe and comes out looking like a freaking supermodel. I hate that. I don't have any that I particularly like. That's terrible. So, here's an annoying thing for you. My camera battery died halfway through that question. Yay! Wonderful. Good. Everything's fine. Anyway, I thought I'd just answer, sat down here because I'm feeling quite lazy. So anyway, going back to that question, I think if I think about romance as a subplot, I can kind of answer it. So I think, based on that, my favourite romantic plot thingy is star-crossed lovers. So I think that's the right phrase for it. Like Romeo and Juliet, when you're not meant to love each other but you do anyway. That one. That would be my favourite. And that is it. That is all of the questions. I really enjoyed doing this tag actually. I haven't done one in a really long time, especially not a Booktube one. So yeah, I don't really know how to tag people properly, but if you're watching and you want to give it a go ahead and do it and let me know you've done it, and yeah, so I can watch it. Just another quick note actually before I finish this video. I just wanted to let you know that The Twisted 10 is out in under a month. So A Season of Darkness, our anthology, is out on the 20th of March. The pre-sale link should be live. We've been having a few issues with it. So if it is live, I will leave the link for that down below. And we're still looking for some ARC readers too. So if you want to give it an early read and a review, let me know. I will sort you out. Yeah, we've worked really hard on this for, yeah, almost a year, I think, like the best part of a year. To get these 17 stories together and edited and the cover sorted, and I'm really proud of us. And yeah, I think it's really amazing that we've all come together as 10 authors that didn't know each other before this, and now we really know each other. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy it. I'm really excited to see people's reactions to it and to see it in the wild. I especially want to say thank you to Bethany, because she has pulled some long hours sorting this thing out. And getting it formatted properly and uploaded to Amazon, and there have been a few issues, so yeah, thank you Bethany. Yeah, just really excited to see it out in the wild, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's reactions to it. So that's that for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for another one. Bye!